Hey, what's going on? It is Adam here, and if you are watching this video, here is what I know about you. You have a big heart to serve others. You love the Lord. You want to be able to give to people, and for that reason, you sometimes struggle to ask for the sale because you might feel like you're taking from them, or you don't want people to get the wrong idea, like you have motives to be able to, that aren't for them, and so you have these blocks around asking for the sale. And so what I want to talk a little bit about in this video is how do we ask for the sale in the right way, in a way that feels good to them and for us, and how do we see it from a spiritual perspective so that our humility doesn't get in the way of our authority. So let's go ahead and dive into today's scenario. So this is from Crystal here. She says, my name is Crystal and I struggle as a believer to make sales because I don't want to pressure people into buying anything. Okay. So the idea that, in this case, Crystal, that you have the idea that you're pressuring people, what that assumes is that people feel bad giving you their money, right? And so somewhere in there, maybe in the past, maybe you saw something growing up where maybe your parents maybe saw or had comments around people that were selling something, or maybe you felt like when somebody sold you, they pressured you into buying something, and so you didn't want to create that experience for other people. And so we have to be able to look at somewhere in the past, there became a block there that created this lens that when people sell something, you're taking from them, right? That there's pressure involved. So we have to be able to look at this situation from a spiritual lens. And how does God view sales? Does he view it as we're pressuring people and we're taking something from people, or does he view it differently? So let's zoom out for a second. And what do we know about God's view around money? Well, we know that he owns it all. And what else do we know about it? We know that he uses it as a tool. And what does he use this tool for? He uses this tool to be able to help us in accomplishing his will here on earth, right? He uses it to bless us. He uses it to provide for us. He uses it to help us build things, to help people, right? There's a lot of the good things that he uses the money for. And then, of course, because people in their own human nature, they do crazy things with money too, that causes them to go a completely different direction. But overall, God uses money as a tool that circulates on the earth to be able to accomplish his will. Okay, so if we can start there, then the next thing is this. Well, that means that the money doesn't actually belong to us. And if the money doesn't belong to us, it also means that money doesn't belong to others. So it all is his. So when money is in our possession, we are stewarding what God entrusts us with. So if you are making a sale because he has given you a business that he's called you to, then what that means is that there is an exchange there where the tool is now circulating for you to be able to, for that exchange of service that you're providing. So now you get to pray over what to do with that tool, and God may have you reinvested. He may bless you with it so you can pay bills, have some fun experiences, whatever it is that he's called you to do with that money, but you get to steward it, right? So what happens a lot of times is we feel a guilt of asking from other people because we feel like we're taking from them, but it doesn't belong to them. It doesn't belong to you. It all belongs to him. So it's a false humility that gets in the way of our authority. What is the false humility I'm talking about? This mindset of, well, I don't want to bother people, or I don't want to pressure people, or I don't want to take from them. But that's actually not operating out of the purpose and the intention that God may have given you for your assignment. For example, if God gives you a vision to go out and build something, let's say it's your business, he wouldn't give you the vision without the provision, which means he won't give you the vision without providing for the vision that he's given you. So in your prayer time, when God is showing you the business that you're supposed to build, and he gives you a vision for the people you're supposed to impact, that costs money. That takes resources to be able to make that impact. So when he gives you the vision for it, and he's released you to go out into the world to create that vision, you need resources. And so that means you have the authority to go out and make it. I'll say that again. You have the authority to go out and make it. So when you are hesitant in a false humility that you don't want to bother people or reach out to people or enroll people because you're taking from them, you're letting a false humility get in the way of the authority that God has given you to go after your vision. And so we have to be careful that we do not allow that false humility to block us from being able to receive what God has for you. And so what I want you to do in your next sales meeting is I want you to have this perspective that God has given you a vision. He has called you to reach a certain group of people. That group of people requires resources, and God has given you the authority to build the vision that you have, and he is going to bless you through other people, and he's going to circulate the money as a tool to move in your direction to be able to fulfill what he has called you to. And the cool thing is if he does that for you, that means he also can do that for the other person. What God is doing in that person's life is he'll be able to circulate more money to replenish what they invested in you or sowed into you, because it's kind of funny how God has a way of helping us here on the earth with finances. It's kind of like a freezer. You ever put your cup under the freezer? The ice runs out, but then what's there the next day? More ice, right? So God has a way of not only providing for you, but he has a way of providing for the other people who've sown into you. So what you can do is pray a blessing for every person that's given $1 back to you for the sale, so that they are also able to be replenished for the dollars they're sowing in you for the service or thing that they're buying from you to support you in your journey as well. So it is a blessing for them to give, and it is also a blessing for you to receive. So practice on receiving that, walking in your authority, because God wouldn't give you the vision if he wasn't going to provide for it. So I hope this video helped you in maybe unblocking some money things and getting more aligned with a God perspective. I've created a program called Breaking the Spirit of Poverty. It's a free course you can take. I'm going to put it here below in the chat. Powerful course on breaking through financially to the next level, and also in breaking through to your God vision. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the description. I hope you got value from this video. If so, comment, like, subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me here on the channel.